to us, and she's a really good little girl, so we're going to use her because she's pretty quiet about this kind of stuff. So, Mom, why don't you bring her out one more step, a little bit, away from there. And we use the terms walk on and whoa. Walk on. There you go. Okay, so everybody has their own little tack box, and each one of them has their own little name on it. Jane, I don't think you've ever been in our tack room to see this, but we have a shelf in there, and each one of them has their own little tack box with their name on it. So these brushes are used strictly usually on that horse, okay? We start with what's called a curry comb, okay? The curry comb is used to ruffle up the fur and ruffle up the dirt, okay? So, and you want to use it on the meaty part of the horses. You don't want to use this down here on their legs, which is all bone. That would hurt them, okay? And you want to use big circular motion, and you can see how the hair's getting ruffled up, and hair is coming up, and there's dirt. She's been rolling good. You can use it on their rump, and you want to use some big, Does this feel good, Katie? This is almost like a massage for us, okay? You can use it on their neck a little bit, okay? And of course you're going to do both sides. I'm going to do just one side, and then everybody's going to get a horse and they can do the other side. Okay? You also want to do the belly, okay? Get the dirt off the belly. Because when you're putting the cinch on, if you get a rock in your shoe, what happens?
Start limping. It hurts.
You get a blister. Okay? If we have dirt or crud underneath her cinch, she's going to get a cinch sore, which means then we can't use her until that heals up, which could take a couple, 3 weeks to heal. So, anyway. Okay, the next brush we're going to use, and I usually try to shake the hair out before I put it back in the box so we don't get hair in it. We have 2 brushes in our box. One is firm, and one is a little softer. Okay? We're going to use our hard brush next. And we go with the grain of the hair, down, down, down. And what we're doing is all that hair and that dirt that we just stirred up, we're trying to get off of her. Okay? Does that feel good, Katie? Does that feel good? And you don't need to press really hard. And the same thing with the curry comb. If your horse starts turning around and looking at you, maybe you might be pressing a little hard. Some of them have very sensitive spots, especially right here. It's usually a kind of like the dog scratching his leg, their ticklish spot type thing.
You just use smooth motion, and you don't have to do that flicking motion?
You can, you can. I do sometimes. Okay. And you want to make sure you get the belly. It also gets the flies off, and manure or anything that's stuck to their belly that could attract the flies. Okay?
Speaking about everybody except Tigger. Tigger likes to roll in the mud.
Yeah. Well, these girls like to roll too. Okay. So that's our hard brush. Now our soft brush, it's like when we polish our boots. We use a rag to polish up our boots. The soft brush is basically to get the rest of the dirt off, but it's also to kind of give their hair a little polish. You know how the ladies used to brush their hair 100 strokes at night to polish, to get their hair all nice and shiny. Huh? Hi, pretty girl. Yeah, she's got long mane and long tail.
This was the first horse I rode with Katie.
Yes, it is. That's right. You remember that. I remember that too. Okay. So that's our soft brush. Okay. We also have a hairbrush, and it's all right. If your horse starts to spook at it, let him see what you're looking at. Let him see what, And that's just to kind of comb out their mane and their forelock. I just use short strokes. Get the knots out of their hair, because unfortunately they don't have a mom that'll come along and comb their hair for them. We're the mom. So, and when you want to do the mane, you want to kind of hold at the top.
See the hair in the ears?
Yeah. Right there. Oh, did I get one in? That's her eyelashes too. They have long eyelashes. So you want to kind of hold at the top when you're brushing their mane. It pulls like it would you if you had gnats or tangles in your hair. Okay? Basically getting just the shavings out, make her look pretty. Beth Your Mama Bev's not going to be here today, Katie, so. Okay. Now, the tail. This is a thing that people just don't quite understand how to do the tail. Because they start at the top, a lot of people start at the top, and they just start dragging it down, okay? And you can't do that with the tail, okay? Because you'll end up pulling it out, and then you'll end up with a horse that has a sore tail. So I start at the bottom and just do little strokes just to get the naps out. And you always want to stand to one side of your horse. You don't want to be standing back here, because if you happen to pull the wrong way, you're going to have a rather enlightening experience that you wouldn't like. Okay? And I just start down here and get the naps out. And just short strokes. And she's just full of shavings, because she likes to lay down in her shavings. And you just work your way up, gradually up the tail. Okay? The last thing that we do, and this is the most dangerous, is to clean out their feet. And Jane, this is really important because, you know, when they're out there and when we water down the arena, they get that sand and stuff all packed in there. Well, they also could get rocks packed in there. And again, rock in your shoe, not a very pleasant thing. And a horse's life is its feet. Anything happens to a horse's feet, I mean, we can go lay down, keep our foot up and rest it.